So if I could go back and give myself a little piece of advice, I would say start learning the right skills sooner. Stop wasting time working in jobs that are making good money for what I thought at the time was good money, and start focusing on jobs that help you build a foundation to grow and to learn and to develop the right skills to be successful in the future. Here's what I mean by that. When I was in school, I was working in this restaurant. Now, it was a nice upscale restaurant where I was making good tips. And it felt like I was doing a little bit better than my friends. So I was making a little bit more money. I could buy nicer things. I could do the things that I've always wanted to do, but I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't taking anything away from that job. All I did was learn how to serve food. I didn't learn the basic foundational skills. And if I could go back, what I would do differently is I would put myself into jobs where I would build a stronger foundation, okay? Now that doesn't mean, and this is the hard part, especially being in college, it's very easy to get carried away by the money. How do I get a job that pays the most amount of money so that I can use that money for discretionary spending, maybe buying new clothes or a new car or a new set of golf clubs? That was always my mindset. I thought about it very short term. How do I make just enough money while I'm in school to be able to spend it on the things that I want to spend it on? I didn't think about how do I build the right foundation, the right skills in order to be able to make as much money as possible in the long term, in the long run. That's the piece that really matters. And so when I think about jobs with the right foundation, a few things come to mind. If somebody's considering getting into the sales field, let's talk about real estate specifically. I started out as a residential real estate agent. And with real estate agents, most agents think that they need to learn right off the bat everything about the contracts, and they need to learn everything about social media, and then they need to learn about how to negotiate the deal and how to show the house and how to write up an offer. All those things are important. Yes, they're very important. But more importantly, we can't do any of those things without first having a client. Now you'll notice this same thing repeats itself over and over again in different jobs and in different careers. Whether somebody is an attorney, whether somebody is a dentist, whether somebody owns a, say, bakery, or whatever kind of business, whatever they're doing, there are always two parts to it. One is the trade itself. So for example, being a real estate agent, you want to know obviously how to negotiate. You want to know how to do the contracts. But the second part is the lead generation, actually getting new clients through the door. So yes, the dentist needs to know how to do the fillings and clean the teeth. Yes, the baker needs to know how to bake the bread. Yes, the attorney needs to know how to win the case. But more importantly, all those people that are in those jobs, they need to know how to generate new clients, because without the new client, without somebody walking into the bakery to buy the bread, it doesn't matter if you can bake the best bread in town if nobody knows about it, if you can't get people through the door. It doesn't matter if you're the best attorney in the country. If you can't get new clients, nothing's gonna happen. Same thing for real estate agents. And this is where the sales and the lead generation piece comes in. So if there's one skill that somebody can focus on, being young, being in college, or just getting out of college, if they could focus on one thing and honing this in and getting really good at it, it's lead generation and sales. Because that can be translated into any job whatsoever. So what I mean by that is this: if I want to be a baker and I learn how to bake the best bread possible, but then later I don't want to be a baker anymore and I want to own a golf course, or I want to start a media production company, I can't take that skill and take it with me, but I can take sales and lead generation with me. If I learn how to sell houses or cars or whatever it is that you'd be selling, pharmaceutical sales, you can take that into any career path. That's a translatable skill. And I'd encourage people, especially those just getting out of college or that are still in college, or if maybe you've dropped out of school and you're just trying to get by and working a regular job, say at a restaurant or as a bartender or somewhere else that is just getting you the money that you need to get by, but you're not really learning anything, you got to get out of there. I understand you got to be set financially, but if you want to start doing big things in the long term, you need to learn the right skills and the right foundation to help you succeed. So if I was looking back and I was, let's say, a junior or senior in college, it was my last couple semesters in college, I would highly recommend getting an internship in a field that you're really interested in. The reason that I recommend the internship is a couple different things. One is you can test drive the career before you really get into it. Most people wouldn't buy a car without test driving it, unless you're shopping on Carvana or something like that, which is actually pretty cool. But you still have 30 days, even if you're buying a car in Carvana, to return it if you don't like the way that it drives. A lot of people jump into a career without ever testing it out. They just think it's something that they want to do because they saw their parents' friends and they're successful and they think that they're doing well. So because this guy is successful, I want to be an investment banker. And so they start studying, say, finance, and they graduate with a finance degree. This is exactly what happened to me. Start graduating and they graduate with a finance degree with the goal of becoming an investment banker or a stockbroker. And when I was a senior at Georgia State, I got an internship at an investment banking firm. And so every single day we would do one thing that we would focus on. It's making cold calls to a list of business owners. I would get handed a list of probably 300 business owners that owned, say, a landscaping company around town or a painting company. And I'd call them, I'd introduce myself, and I would see if they'd be interested in learning about our financial services. And I learned so much from that experience that even though I'm not in the investment banking world, I was able to take that and translate it into real estate. I did the same thing when I was working at an office supply sales company. We would have to door knock 60 different businesses every single day. Now, even though I don't sell office supplies, I was able to take those skills with me because it taught me how to communicate with people. It taught me how to read body language. And this is something that's very important to do early on, especially when you're still in school, especially as you're finishing up and you're just getting on your way. If you can learn this piece, this will make you stand out from everybody else, from all your colleagues, from everyone around you, because you'll be that much more polished in the sales field. I learned this when we were doing optics sales. I worked for a company that sold optics for rifles and handguns and lasers and night vision units. We would have to go to gun shows and trade shows. And early on, I got so much sales experience that once I got into real estate, once I started becoming a residential real estate agent, and as we transitioned more into the investment side, it helped me tremendously. I could outsell the guys that have been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years just because I've had so many reps at doing this. And I've had so much rejection that it'll help me become a better salesperson. There's one thing that you can do. Focus on that. Focus on that. Don't worry about making the money right now. It's better when you're younger to focus on getting the right knowledge, to build the right foundation, to learn the right skills, rather than trying to make a bunch of money in the first year or two out of school. You want to think about this as a long-term game. And if you build the right foundation now, you'll be able to skyrocket over time. So focus on that. I highly recommend it. Test drive your field. Test drive the major that you're going through. If you're a marketing major, get a marketing internship. If you're a business management major, get something to do with business management. If you're doing real estate, whether it's residential or commercial, get a real estate internship. Once you graduate school, the person that's at that company will be interviewing new recruits. They'll be interviewing people to join their company full-time. So not interns, but people to join their company full-time. And if somebody's done an internship at a company and they've done a great job, they made a great impression, it'll be that much easier for somebody to get a long-term opportunity than for somebody that's walking in the door and coming in for their first interview. I love talking to young people that are excited, that want to do stuff, that are ambitious, that are driven. I love that. And if you ever have questions or there's anything that I can help with, please reach out to me. I'm in Midtown. I'm right here off of Peachtree. We can get together in Atlanta, grab a cup of coffee. We can FaceTime. We can talk on the phone. Happy to help any way that I can. Wishing you the best of luck, and we'll see you soon.